So you've created your ads and you've got to that section on the Facebook ad manager, or maybe you've arranged for an influencer shout out of your music, but you're not really sure where to direct people. Well, in this video, I'm going to take you through all of the options you have available to you, whether you direct people to your YouTube, to your Spotify or Apple Music, to your Instagram profile, or simply just keep people on the platform itself. And we face this dilemma every single day at Burstimo with our artists. When we've created an ad, we need to know where is the money best spent? Because say you just get 100,000 views on Instagram itself, that's not necessarily going to be good quality views, or it's not going to convert into a fan. So this is how we decide where we're going to send people. And I'm going to start with YouTube because I love YouTube as a platform. One of the reasons I love sending people to YouTube is because when you get a view on your YouTube channel or one of your videos, that counts as an asset. YouTube does all of the retargeting for you. So if you get someone to click through to your YouTube channel, watch a video, and they watch it to near the end, then when you release again or release another video and they go to the YouTube homepage, the algorithm will push it out to them and say, hey, 3 months ago, you watched a video by this artist. Do you want to watch this new video that they've released? So okay, maybe it costs a little bit more to get people off the platform and to YouTube, but how many more views are you getting for your money? So say directing people to YouTube is a little bit more expensive. You get less for your money on the surface of it, but say you get 3 extra views from that person because of the YouTube algorithm, then it's 30% of the price because you're getting so much more for your money, more longevity. And also if they subscribe to your channel, then you have the potential to convert them into a lifelong fan. Another great reason is people don't need to download YouTube. So you've got the likes of Spotify and Apple Music. They need to have an account and they need to have these apps downloaded in order to convert them. So they see your ad and they already know that it's going to be a YouTube link. They've probably got a Google account or a YouTube account. So they know if they click, they are going to see the content straight away that they've clicked for. There's going to be no sign up process. There's going to be no request saying, are you sure you want to go to this app and use this app and press play? Or maybe they've got a playlist playing right now and they want to continue that playlist. They won't lose their place because it's taken to them to a YouTube channel. So there's no barriers there, and therefore you can convert people easier. And the final thing I like about YouTube is you can make use of so many visuals. So if you've got an amazing YouTube video, you can show people that music video and they are concentrating only on that, because on the YouTube platform you don't have things popping up everywhere. So you don't have people messaging you on Messenger in the bottom right, or a news feed where you can slightly see the previous post or the next post coming, and you've always got that temptation to scroll. But the only distraction on YouTube is alternative videos that you might want to watch. But if someone's clicked your ad, the chances are they're not going to click off it as often and be enticed by the suggested videos because they've clicked specifically to see you. So one of the cons of YouTube is people, if they're on their phone, aren't able to listen in the background. So they go to YouTube and they click it on their phone and it will take them away from the app, and then they start listening. They think it's a good track, but a message comes through, or they want to go back to Instagram and continue listening, and they can't just listen in the background. I know some Android phones have like picture-in-picture features and things like that, but in general, it is a lot more difficult to just leave tracks running in the background on YouTube. Say you wanted to lock your phone and they wanted to just put it back in their pocket and listen to on their headphones when they've just started riding the bus, for example. They can't do that on YouTube. The next thing is you need to invest a lot in your visuals, because we've tried running ads before on just a static image and the track, and if you've put all this effort into having a fantastic ad which is visually pleasing, and then you take people to listen to the track and they stream it, it's just a static image, especially if people are on their phone, they're probably not going to sit there and listen. So you need something that is going to be visually pleasing and is going to keep people's attention there, as well as just listening to your music. So for us, the big decider on whether we send users to YouTube is, do they have good visuals on that platform? If it is a good music video or video in itself, or they are constantly uploading to that channel, therefore having the algorithm push out more videos or getting more subscribers is going to be a benefit to that artist. If it's just a static image with the track itself, or perhaps only a one-off music video of them playing live, it probably isn't worth trying to take people off that platform and try and overcome all of the other cons that YouTube has in order to just get people there and take advantage of the algorithm, mainly because the likes of Spotify have an algorithm anyway, which I'll get onto in a minute. The next one is keeping people on Facebook or Instagram itself. So this is where someone is scrolling and you've managed to entice them to watch, and they sit there and they don't leave the app. You're just going to run it as an ad which is just for video views, which is great for general awareness, but I feel this comes with a lot of drawbacks, and one of the biggest ones is that the amount of distractions there are. When people go onto Instagram or Facebook, you need to kind of break that flow. They are in just a state of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. How do you break them out of that? And it's discussed a lot in marketing. It's just, how do you stop people from just being in their pattern of scrolling and actually take an action on something? And you're not going to be able to break them with any form of content where they're not taking action, because there's so many distractions around them. So if they're scrolling on Instagram, they could go back up and watch Instagram stories. They could just get an urge to keep scrolling. The audio is never going to be that good unless they are listening through headphones or things like that. And if they're on Facebook, then you know what the Facebook platform itself is like. There's just so many things going on which are trying to get you to click, whether it's notifications, whether it's on Messenger. People also don't tend to scroll with the sound on. Usually when you're on your phone on Instagram, it's not a nice experience to scroll Instagram with the sound on. It's kind of like you end up hearing like the first 3 seconds of every single video that you are scrolling past, and it creates quite a horrible experience. So people often mute their volume when they're scrolling. Therefore, you've got one extra action that you need people to take, which is to switch their volume on. Now, if you're going to ask for one extra action, which is to turn up their volume, you might as well just send them to another place and just add in another action where you get a higher level of investment than them just staring at a screen watching a muted video of an artist that they haven't heard of. So what I would do is I would happily do ads on Instagram and Facebook for video views only if you have a good retargeting strategy. So this is a good one if you want to go back to my Facebook and Instagram ads tutorial video, which I'll link down below, and you want to watch that because that does include video views and a retargeting strategy. It works well, but you can't rely on the people investing in that initial piece of content because they won't. You need to bombard people. You need to bombard people 3 to 4 times to be able to get them to invest, which involves initially getting awareness from the video views, but don't expect them to take serious action on that initial ad. Next is Spotify or Apple Music. So this would be the most logical one, right? Because streams are everything for an artist. I know that. I see our comment section. You guys want streams. So if you're going to invest your money into advertising your music, you're going to want to get your stream count up. And it makes sense because Spotify does have a strong algorithm now. So you can get more for your money if you can get people to Spotify and listen. And it counts as a stream if they listen to 30 seconds or more of the track. So that's how, if you're getting a lot of clicks from Instagram or Facebook and people have gone and listened, perhaps they're not listening to the full track. Now, maybe that means that you could be directing people to the wrong place. Maybe you should have gone to YouTube, or perhaps they just weren't invested enough and you need a retargeting campaign. You need to reassess the initial content or the journey to understand why, or perhaps the bit of the track that you advertised is the strongest bit of the track, and when they start to listen they realize that they don't like the track at all. So there are lots of things to consider. However, you do get follows, you do get saves on your track, and this all helps the algorithm, and you can end up getting placed on a lot of good playlists. Okay, they might only have like 50 to 100 followers if they're personal playlists, but this is still an asset and still helps the Spotify algorithm. So I can totally see why you guys would want to go to digital streaming platforms. And you also now have a lot of Smart Earl and Linktree type websites which allow you to make people click through, go to a website and select whether they want to go on Spotify or Apple Music, which allows you to upload a pixel and retarget people who have clicked through, and perhaps maybe you know this person has clicked through to Spotify. You can then retarget them with your Instagram profile and get more followers that way, knowing that they have now heard your music. So there are lots of things you can do there, but Spotify, linking people to Spotify does come with a few drawbacks. The main one for me is they might not have Spotify installed or Apple Music. So what ends up happening is you end up wasting a lot of money on people who don't have it installed. And I know you can target people on Facebook who have an interest in Spotify or Apple Music and narrow them down. But Facebook doesn't know who has what installed. They just know that they've mentioned Spotify or perhaps been on the Spotify website or searched Spotify or looked up the Spotify Facebook page. That's how they know. They don't know if you've got it installed on your phone or not. So narrowing your audience down is not necessarily enough. So you're taking a huge gamble here that they're going to click through and decide to open the app, because they're going to get a notification saying, are you sure you want to open Spotify? Going to click yes. You're going to lose the last playlist you were listening to, lose your place in that playlist, and it's also quite a big commitment to get people across to there. A tip I have as well is if you're finding that they're not converting very well, try filtering to only people who are browsing Instagram or Facebook on a mobile device, because you might find that because of the nature of your ad, it works better on a mobile device, and you know that people are on the move and more likely to sit and listen to music. Whereas if you're browsing Facebook, you might be at work, you might be bored, you might be sitting watching TV. The likelihood is that if you are on your phone, you're probably on the move, you're bored, and you'll happily put on some music. So you can filter people to a mobile device only as an audience, and then you know they'll probably have a digital streaming platform installed. So you could run an ad and test them against each other and just see which one is the cheapest. So for us, going to digital streaming platforms is the default one. If there is nothing else, if there's no other assets, and it's just an artist with good music, yes, Spotify or Apple Music will be where we send people, but it does have its limitations, and it does make it very, very difficult for you to convert someone into a lifelong fan, to understand you as an artist, to feel like they know you on a personal level and want to tell their friends. So there's drawbacks, but if it's just about the music, then yes, we will default to Spotify, get the streams, get the release radars, get the followers up, and just grow the algorithm presence, as well as hoping to land on some playlists. And the final option is sending them to your Instagram profile. So one of the metrics that artists love is to see that they're getting followers, because there's nothing better than putting up Instagram stories and seeing people interact with it. They reply to you, you walk down the street and people recognize you. If you want that, then Instagram is the place to send people, because that is the place where people get to know your face. And to do this, you do need to have the music in the ad itself. So you couldn't just run it as an ad and not have the music, because if you are sending people to Spotify or YouTube, they're going to get an opportunity to hear the music, but they're not going to click follow if they don't like your music, because you are a musician. That is essentially what you do and the content you're providing. But like I said, it's a fantastic place to get a fan base. So if your music is good enough, then you can send people there. Now, the thing about sending people to Instagram, which I think so many artists make this mistake, You send people to your Instagram profile, but your content on your page is not worth following. And you end up just wasting your money trying to get followers, and you say to yourself, when I've got the following, that's when I'll start putting effort into my content. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work like that. You have to show that you have good content that is worth following. So they look at your Instagram profile at a glance, maybe they'll click a couple of posts. If they like what they see and they check out your story and you're putting up good stuff, then you are more likely to get people converted into followers. And that's when you can plug your music and you've got an audience that can constantly go and stream your new music when it comes out, but they are invested in you. They know you, they want to support you. So there's so many advantages in it. So when deciding whether to send traffic to an Instagram profile, we look at the profile at a glance and say, is this a profile that people will want to follow? If it is, if people want to see more, then we will send the traffic to there. And then you can plug your music from there, knowing that they are invested, and start growing your audience and grow real fans. So I hope you found this video useful to be able to look at your overall online presence, see what assets you have available, where your strengths are, and therefore be able to conclude where to send your traffic. If you have found this video useful, give it a like. If you want to see more music marketing videos like this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.